We're back. My name is Cannon. I'm with Burger Motorsports, and today we're going to be dynoing a G82 M4, pretty much the same mods as our previous video with Kat's car, as well as a CT4 Cadillac. So we've already got the M4 strapped down. We're going to go ahead and start doing its stock dyno pulls on 91 octane, see what it makes, and then go ahead and start modding it out, show you guys the difference. This car is a fully stock G82 M4, iDrive 8. Biggest difference today with this is that this car is manual. Time's getting the car calibrated right now, bringing it up to 2,000 RPMs. It's good to go. What gear did we just calibrate it in?
This is going to be 4th gear calibration.
All right.
We're on a 6-speed manual. All right. Here we go.
And she made 464 and 403 wheel torque on that first pull. Isn't the competition model, so it does make a little bit less compared to the competition. You know he's not messing around when it comes straight from the dealership after break-in. And it's still got the seat covers on. Wasting absolutely no time to get this thing tuned, because I mean, why wait ultimately? These cars have so much potential, you might as well just tune it right away. So we just did a little test and a little experiment for you guys to see what AC actually does to power. A lot of people say that it does affect your power. A lot of people say it doesn't. Some people say it's just straight out of Fast and Furious and it doesn't do anything. We just put that to the test. Run 1 did 464 wheel horsepower. Run 2 did 462 wheel horsepower. We just kicked AC on and it made 443 wheel horsepower. So nearly a 20 wheel horsepower deficit with AC on. So if you guys are racing with AC on, you're lacking on some of your power. We turned AC back on and ran the dyno again, almost 20 wheel horsepower gain from when AC was turned on. Inside our warehouse right now, it's showing about 91 degrees. So by no means is this perfect dyno conditions. IATs are gonna start to skyrocket. With the JB4, if we want to, we can also run IAT spoofing, so the car won't try and pull as much timing as IATs ride. Nearly 200 wheel horsepower gains in just about an hour of install. Currently 404 right now. Let's see how long it takes for Priam to get these parts on. Can you go over what the map extension harnesses are for?
These are for the S58 platform, for the hard to reach sensor, as everyone knows down there, and basically junctions as a splitter. So when you want to go back to stock, you don't have to reach down there and take everything apart anymore. You can just plug them back into each other, and that's it. And if you have a JB4, this place right in between here. Just
as easy as that. That's all it takes. We are finally finished. It took just about an hour. These intakes look phenomenal. The JB4 is nice and tucked away, not even visible. Flex fuel kit is routed all the way up, back and behind for a super clean and sleek install. It looks so OEM, it's just fantastic. This car in specific has our Elite intakes, nice gloss black, matches the engine bay very well. Oh my God. Now that everything's installed, we're gonna go ahead and do a JB4 map 0 log to show the difference with our Elite performance intakes on versus our stock log. Just about 10 wheel horsepower and 10 wheel torque. Map 1, what's it gonna make?
512.
505.
91 octane.
550.
All right, Priam, let's see it. Map 1 on 91 octane just brought it up to 504 wheel horsepower, which is pretty much the equivalent of the competition models. I think they do target about 3 PSI more than the base M4s and M3s do. Kind of makes sense. Go ahead and put some ethanol in the car, start cranking it up. All right, so timings look pretty rough as far as 91 octane goes on map 1. We're gonna try and make some adjustments here and see if we can get the timing not be quite as sporadic as it currently is. boost spike here, so we're gonna try and iron that out, including that timing, see if we can get it down and get a little bit cleaner of a log as far as map 1 goes on 91 octane. All right, we are almost wrapped up here. Payam, what took us 5 hours to really get this thing going how we want it to?
Manual transmission are pretty much tuned a little differently than the autos, as you know anyone would suspect. So pretty much we had to dampen the boost ramp in the way the wastegates were closing, so we could get less boost spikes and less spikes on the graph and peaking numbers, you know, so everything is smoothing out now. And we took advantage of our optional fuel pressure connector. We added that in so we could use higher ethanol blends and use higher boost pressures and make custom map 6 boost profiles for customers that want to do racing beyond the map 5 or other race maps that we have.
Payam's ready to dyno the car. It's JB4 map 6 on an E30 mix. Let's see what it does. Pretty good. Wow, look at those gains, you guys. 180 wheel horsepower gains and 182 wheel torque over stock. It is the next day now. Yesterday we dynoed Adam's G82 M4 with the manual transmission, made a whopping 640 wheel horsepower. Tonight I should say, we have the Cadillac CT4 2.0T with the LTD motor in it. Got 93 octane in it today, so just note all these numbers are on 93 octane. There is no 91 octane in the tank. We're gonna start it off with a map 0 run, see what it makes, kick it up to map 1, map 2, map 3, and then throw our BMS cold air intake on it, and then run map 3 again and see what it does. We're only gonna do about 30 minutes worth of dyno tuning and see how quickly the gains come in. The JB4 has already been installed on the car, so we're gonna go ahead and set it to map 0 and just start off with a nice map 0 log and see what the car makes. On the fans, no overheating around here. As you can see, the car is fully stock. Just running a JB4. From factory, Cadillac claims 237 horsepower on the CT4 with the LTD motor. I'm guessing the car is gonna make around 175 to 190 wheel horsepower on the map 0 run. Hopefully we can see up to 60 wheel horsepower gains today on the dyno, which is pretty common for the 2.0T 4-bangers across most platforms. Alrighty, Payam, let's go ahead and set it to map 0 and get this dyno on the way. 185 wheel horsepower and 216 wheel torque on 93 octane with the factory flash. With all of the EPA and emissions regulations now and everything, and that's how good they're getting these cars to run, that's pretty crazy to me. But all right, Payam, let's go ahead and kick it over to map 1 and see what she makes. 185 wheel horsepower. I want to show you guys how easy this is to switch from map 0 to map 1. This is on the fly. You can do this anytime. Payam's connected to the device already. Switch to map 1. All Payam has to do is double click on the map button itself and then tap over to map 1. Map 1's going to target about 2 PSI additive over factory. I would imagine we're probably going to pick up around 20 wheel horsepower. Go ahead and run it. Let's see what she does. I called for about 20 wheel horsepower gains on map 1. It's better than that. 211 wheel horsepower and 240 wheel torque. That's absolutely no change in the feeling on the car. This is just 93 octane. We're just running and gunning here. We're gonna go ahead and switch over to map 2 now and see what it does. So the factory flash on the car isn't that great, and we are just adding on top of that. We're not making any changes to the timing table or fuel table. The car is still detuned from factory quite a bit, so there's a lot of room to still move up with power goals. I can't see that far. I need to get closer to be able to see those numbers. Oh, 227 wheel horsepower and 282 wheel torque. Wow, look at that torque gain. That's absolutely insane as far as torque numbers go. Mid-yawn. I don't even know what time it is right now. I think it's like 12 or 12:30 at night. So we're a little tired, so bear with us here. The gains don't lie. Fine, let's go ahead and kick it up to map 3 and see what she does.
That's good.
Let the power commence. Another 11 wheel horsepower compared to map 2, still with 93 octane in the tank. We're not gonna make any changes as far as fueling goes. 238 wheel horsepower and 304 wheel torque. Little recap here while Pym goes ahead and swaps over the BMS cold air intake onto the car. Stock, 185 wheel horsepower and 216 wheel torque. On map 3, the car made 238.7 wheel horsepower and 305 wheel torque. It's very spicy gains.
Over here working on this shit when all I want is an ice cream from McDonald's.
So we gotta swap the MAF over to the BMS intake. Such an easy install. This install on the cold air intake only takes about 5 minutes or so. We're gonna keep the car on map 3 and go ahead and run it and see if we get any power gains with our BMS intake on it. Pam, hop in the car.
Shit, no tuning changes. Let's see what we get with our intake.
Get in the car. Gains 11 wheel horsepower. That's what we're looking for right there. 15 wheel torque with our BMS intake on the car. Seems like a pretty good bang for the buck as far as a good mod goes. 185 wheel horsepower to start with 216 wheel torque. Finishing out with just a JB4 and a BMS cold air intake, 249 wheel horsepower and 319 wheel torque. We love you guys. We look forward to uploading more consistent videos as time goes on. So make sure to subscribe, follow, drop a comment below if you like the video. And maybe if you guys want to see any other cars or modifications done to a different car of your choice, let us know. On that note, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good rest of your night.